All right, guys, how's it going? Now, before I get into this video, I just want to let you know I'll be live on here this evening at 6 p.m. UK time. So if you want to come along and have a natter about all things LFC or anything else that takes your fancy, join me at 6, all right? I know the football's on, but you're not exactly missing much of this World Cup, in my opinion. Not yet, anyway. Right, so the deal sheet, right? These deal sheets, you can see it behind me here. This is a feature on The Athletic. The transfer deal sheet, it's called. Latest on Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Real Madrid, and more. Now, the deal sheet feature is put together by a number of journalists, David Ornstein being one of them, who obviously we like to keep an eye on what he says. But there's about 10, I reckon, different journalists that, contribute for the different clubs, if you like. So, what I've noticed online today is that there's been stuff taken from the Liverpool section of this deal sheet feature and then shared on social media by these Twitter twats, these aggregator accounts, Liverpool accounts, and they're all quoting David Ornstein. Be careful, because the Liverpool section doesn't say David Ornstein. At the very bottom, it says Greg Evans, right? His name is with all this, right? So let's take a look anyway. I just had a bacon sandwich. Well, I had two. Don't tell Laura. I didn't know if I was going to bring up a little wind. All right, let's have a look. Liverpool. What has happened this week? I can't read it word for word, but let's have a look. It says Diamande is decided on PSG as his next destination if he leaves RB Leipzig. It was The Athletic that originally claimed that was David Ornstein, so they're obviously going to mention their own article. But the entire online media around Diamande at the minute is that he now prefers PSG, not Liverpool. That's what all the Twitter twats are saying. That's what all the clique of LFC journalists are saying, because they've all basically piggybacked on what Ornstein said, because he read it as an exclusive. All right. Remember, Ornstein, we listen to him. We absolutely do listen to him, but don't forget, he's one of the journalists that said FSG was steadfast behind Arne Slot. All right, and he would be still at the club basically this coming season. What I'm trying to say here is sometimes things can change or go wrong. All right. So anyway, they're touching on that. Obviously the previous piece. This means that Liverpool are looking for another winger. After signing Victor Munoz, they may head in a different direction. Now, I know it's Munoz if you're English, but I'm in Spain and I know it's Munoz. All right, just saying. Liverpool searching for another winger. Cody Gakpo, and then it goes on to say the Netherlands forward. We know who he is. He's fucking useless at fucking Liverpool. He's been going through a rough time, so they've touched on. Listen, I'm just saying he's been fucking useless at Liverpool. They had obviously this awful situation, which we don't need to go into details with, and it said that he's received support about that. I noticed one Liverpool fan account apparently the other day, when this news came out, actually using it to promote a betting affiliation or paid partnership, which I thought was incredible. All right. I couldn't believe that, and I think most people online saw that and felt the same as me. But look, there's no doubt he's gone through a shit time at the moment, and our thoughts are with him. He wasn't very effective for Liverpool last season, in my opinion. So the question here is, will Isak and Gakpo's World Cup displays be a positive going forward for Liverpool, right? And one thing it says here is Gakpo made himself available selection just days after the outbreak in news. So, good lad. So, their World Cup performances, will it be a positive for Liverpool? And it says here, it's no exaggeration to say both players will have been glad to see the back of last season. Alexander Isak struggled with injuries and Gakpo's form in front of goal dipped. So both players needed this tournament to build some momentum. Even Wirtz, Wirtz, these players, Wirtz, Isak, Gakpo last season, not great, would he? What do you think? Injuries, I know, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, whether Liverpool genuinely benefit from their performances depends on what happens next. Both are going to be judged on their goals and assists, and Isak, Liverpool's record signing, is just one strike. Gakpo scored 2 and set up another across 3 games in the group stage, but the knockout rounds will determine whether either player can bring some momentum into pre-season. For Isak, just playing and staying fit will be a positive. I would say that is the only positive. To be honest with you, I don't think it makes a big bit of difference. I mean, maybe if you're a striker, getting a bit of form, but then the World Cup finishes, and then a bit of a break, and then pre-season training, which you've missed a bit of. I don't know. I've not enjoyed this World Cup, to be honest, guys. What positions or players are they looking at? Finding a couple of wide players was the main target for Liverpool this season, and they're halfway there with Munoz. Last week, The Athletic reported Diamande was a player of interest, but that other options were under consideration, including Brighton Hove Albion's Minte, Yankuba Minte, El Mala of FC Köln, and Mateus Fernandes Pardo. I want to put an N on the end. I want to call him Pardon. Liverpool are also admirers of PSG's Bradley Barcola and have previously looked at the situation of Crescencio Somerville. Did I get them names right? You know what I'm like with names if it's not Jack Daniels or John Smith. A new right-sided defender would be useful as well as an addition to the midfield. But really, there's nothing really in there, I don't think. Too exciting, but there you go. Which players could be leaving? Not are leaving, which could be leaving? Well, Curtis Jones and Federico Chiesa are the most likely, although they need new talks with the manager, it says here. It talks about Inter's interest in the bids for Jones. Both have fallen short of the number Liverpool, want. And Harvey Elliott is also in need of regular games next season and will assess his options closer to the start of the campaign. I hope we keep Harvey Elliott. I've got to be honest. A world beater he may not be, but it's a new manager. It's a new manager. Let everyone start with a clean slate, guys. That's what I think. Now, in this update, if you like, where it says, finding a couple of wide players was the main target. A new right-sided, this bit here, a new right-sided defender would be useful as well as an addition to the midfield. The Twitter twats have used that line and put Ornstein's name with it, which if you pay attention to Ornstein, which you should do in my opinion, you might be thinking, oh, he's been told that we're in for a right-sided, but it wasn't Ornstein, guys. It was Greg Evans, all right? So my job's just to keep you informed of what's being said and to point out those little things, those little details make a big deal to me, because if someone said Liverpool are going to try and sign whoever, and I go, who said it? And they went, Ornstein, I go, really? That's interesting. Greg Evans said it. Do you get my point? But those people on social media, they're just spinning it a little bit differently. I know it's not the greatest of videos, but I wanted to tell you what was in the deal sheet. And this deal sheet does get a lot of interest. All right, guys, I'll leave it with you. See you at 6. If you enjoyed the video, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. There's a love out under the video called the Super Thanks if you want to support the channel. I always give everyone a shout out that uses the Super Thanks in the next morning briefing. That's right. 3 links in the video description. Alternative methods of supporting me. And of course, the Revolut one is my Fuck It Fund, aka beer fund for weekends. All right, I'll see you at 6 tonight, guys.